What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Simple Sports Hub, man. Y'all already know this is where we talk all things Washington Commanders football, man. And we are here for Victory Monday. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Round of applause to our team. Hey, man, we was able to pull out that victory 27 to 22. Pulled out that fucking broom for the good old, New York Giants. You know what I'm saying? I called it. I called it before the beginning of the season. I said this was going to be the season that we sweep them boys. Because I just knew in my heart of heart that they couldn't really, mess with us, even though it was a good game. So I ain't gonna get too over heels with myself. But before we get into me breaking down yesterday's games, yesterday game, my grades for the offense and the defense. I'm gonna try to do some highlight players that I think stood out yesterday. But I already know, man. Before we get into everything, man, y'all make sure y'all subscribe, hit that like button, man. Y'all go ahead, drop a comment. New York Giants fans, tell me how y'all feel. I know y'all a little butthurt because y'all really probably thought that y'all had our number, but that was the old team. That was the old guys. You know what I'm saying? This is the new guys. We want a new type of we want a new type of vibe now. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment, and let's get right into it, man. We're gonna go ahead and start off with the good old box score, man. And I'm gonna say this: yesterday's game was very tough, man, for me to watch because I kind of seen us backslide a little bit with our defense. And I'm not gonna start off with the defense, but I'm just gonna start off with saying with that, man, we did not do the job we were supposed to do from a defensive perspective and stopping a run. But we had moments, and we made them become a passing team, which I think we had to do because if that remained a close game, I think that we would have had some trouble. Um, Closing out that victory. So we're gonna start off with good old offense, man. Jaden Daniels, man, he went 15 for 22, 209 yards, averaged about 9 yards a throw, two TDs, both to Scary Terry himself, with a 96 QBR rating and a 129 rating overall. Hey, man, I gotta give a major shout out to JD, man. He looked like he was, over, 95% healthy, man. He didn't look like he was struggling throwing the ball, even though last game he didn't either. But you could just tell that it was some type of lingering injury that was forcing him to, come up short on some of those throws that he wanted. So major shout out to him, man, for fighting back, getting healthy, and being able to throw the ball because it was some throws, man, that he made that was just like the accuracy, like the touchdown, the back shoulder touchdown to Terry McLaurin. Man, that was just like that looked like a true veteran, like 10-year plus type of Aaron Rodgers throw, like Tom Brady back shoulder. Like that was just the perfect pass. So I gotta give him shouts out to that, man. Shout out to B Rob, man. Brian Robinson, we know he was a last minute scratch. The hamstring just wasn't working for him to be able to go. And I like that we did sit him. And I gotta give a major applause, man. Major applause to our running back group, man. They stood in for that boy B Rob, man, and they actually, we ended up 38 carries, 149 yards, one rushing touchdown, man. But Chris Rodriguez being able to step in, he ain't played, he been on the practice squad since week one, and him dressing last minute but being ready to go, man. 11 carries, 52 yards. Like that's remarkable from a guy that hasn't been getting no touches all week, hasn't been even dressing, and that's just the resilience of our team, man, and where we currently are as a football team because you could have had guys last year. Man, I ain't trying to play. I'm good. I ain't trying to play with these bums. But he was locked in. 11 carries. Austin Eckler had 11 carries. Um, Rodriguez had 52 for averaged almost for about 5 yards a carry. Austin Eckler had 42, averaged about 4 yards a carry. Even Jaden Daniels with his runs, eight rushes, 35 yards, 5 yards a carry. Jeremy Nichols, who still, man, he was questionable about even making a team, man. Still a huge mark on kickoff special teams like that, and still able to come in the game and give us some decent runs. I think the running back committee, you know what I'm saying, we got to give them a good old A for yesterday's performance, man, because they was able to, you know what I'm saying, take on the load of Brian Robinson, man, and actually put up 149 rushing yards, man. That's so major shout out to our running back group. Also, big shout out to Noah Brown, man. Round of applause for good old Noah. he was able to come through, man. 5 catches, 60 yards, man. He had 6 targets. So out of 6 targets, he only, you know what I'm saying, it was only one, maybe incomplete or bad throw. We don't, I can't call which one it was. But man, major shout out to Noah Brown for showing up. Zacchaeus, clutch, late game catch for about 40 something yards. Yeah, it was about 42 yards as long as Austin Eckler 3 catches, 41 yards. Terry McLaurin only had 2 catches, 19 yards, but those 2 TDs was his. And sometimes it'd be like that. Sometimes you have games like that where the ball is just finding its way to other guys, and Noah Brown showed up. Um, Zacchaeus had a good catch. De'Ami Brown had a major big third down catch. So made a shout out to the receiving group. Major shout out to the Jaden Daniels for the throwing. He looked like the most accurate quarterback out there. I'm just being honest. Like it looked like he couldn't miss. I mean, even his misses looked like they was either just good defense or it was just like a I don't know. But he looked tremendous, man. And then also, man, major shout out. I know they ain't gonna show it on here. Are they gonna show it? Nope. But major shout out to the offensive line, man. Major round of applause. If I had to give a position group a grade, man, they get an A+. Because if you really know the Giants, man, they was the number 1 sacking defense coming into this week. And Brian Burns, Olajuwon, whatever his last name is, Bama from Georgia. He a Georgia Bulldog fan. He a Georgia Bulldog guy. That's my guy. Came in, 3 sacks, 2 sacks the week prior. Dexter Lawrence, you didn't even hear from him. We didn't even know he played yesterday. 97 was getting double teamed. We was chipping him like he could not find his way to the quarterback. So major shout out to our front line. Wiley, man. I said this yesterday. Hey man, I don't know what transpired from last year, the year before to this year, but Wiley playing on a whole different level right now. And I don't know if it was just the coaching and environment, and we all can say what it really was. It was the environment that he was in. I mean, it was just a losing mentality. Like so, like him being like penalized. I think he was top 3 most penalized tackle last year, but then coming up this year, man, not giving up nothing. Like I think gave up maybe 1 or 2 pressures, but outside of that, bro, he been playing flawless. He been playing flawless football. So I gotta give him a major shout out. Shout out to Sam Cosme, man. Biotish, Allegretti, a big major shout out to big major shout out to Brandon Coleman. Man, Brandon Coleman looked like he was, the second coming of Trent Williams a little bit last week, yesterday. Like Brian Burns could not get to the quarterback. He was complaining, but you know what I'm saying. I heard about the whole his finger popped out, and Allegretti had to pop it back in right in mid play, and he got right back out there. I don't know if you ever seen a dislocated finger before. I have, and that shit don't look pretty. But yeah, made a shout out to the old line, man. They actually showed that we can withstand like a top tier, what I'm saying, pass rush, and we gonna need that again this week. If y'all know who we got, we ain't talking about them yet, but we got the Steelers coming into town, and T.J. Watt and Highsmith, man, they've been playing some good football. They've been co-anchoring. They've been playing some good tag team football, rushing the passes. So again, man, but again, as I always say, stack on these good moments. Like you gotta ride this wave, man. You gotta keep riding the wave, and hopefully that we can continue to progress. But if I had to give the overall offense, man, I'll give them a B. I'll give him a B because and it's major because Cliff Kingsbury, man, just looking at some of these calls, man, it looked like the Giants just knew what was coming. It just looked like the Giants knew what was about to happen. Like they was like already ready for some of these run plays, some of these RPOs. I didn't see a lot of screen game that we was normally, and it's like this is the time that when they was heavy stopping the screen game and we got away from it. This is the time you got to start sprinkling it back in, and because you gotta keep defenses on their toes. And this is when I said like, and I'm not saying that our offense has been stifled. I don't think nobody's figured us out. But one of the running jokes, not even a running joke, but one of the things that me and my good man Alvin were talking about today, while we was at work was if we go back to RG3 year and everything was running smoothly, the offense was on hitting on all cylinders until we played the Steelers. It seemed like the Steelers just came in and got our number. But hey, that was then. This is now. We ain't dwelling on the past. We just gonna focus on what we got going on now. And if we gonna focus on what's going on now, I would say, man, I think Cliff, you know, he gotta get a little bit better, man. He gotta get a little bit better at calling that offense, man, keeping them. But again, we made throws, we made catches, and we had successful runs, and we 10 for 10 on all fourth down plays that we've called so far this season. I don't know when the hell the last time we went 100% on fourth down calls, and then let alone we showing the aggression that, man, fuck that. We got a chance to go and get this first down. We believe in our team. We believe in our offense, our O line, our running backs, our quarterback. We believe in everybody, our whole onslaught, that we can get 1 yard. If you think about last year, bro, when we tried to go get 1 yard, man, that thing was ugly. It was real ugly for us. So major shout out, man. I think that it was just a tough divisional game for Cliff and company and offense, and they'll be much better going into next week. So with that being said, we're gonna get into the defense, who I am highly disappointed at, man, because I just don't know if it's the Giants, but for some reason, Daniel Jones, trash bag Daniel Jones, he's so bad. But every time he plays against the Washington Commanders, Redskins, football, whatever, whenever he plays against Washington, man, the dude come out here and look like he what I don't know where he be getting this type of play from. But he been looking like he a top 5 quarterback against us. I don't know why though. And they started off the game not even throwing the ball, which is where I'm most upset about, because I'm a defensive minded type of guy. Like, I pride myself on us having a top nose defense. That's why I like the Dan Quinn signing. I would have been okay with Ben Johnson if we would have hired him. I know that was the league's favorite hire going into the offseason. But hey, knowing Dan Quinn and what he has done with Atlanta, what he did with the Seahawks, what he did with the Cowboys, I was excited. And he wasn't my number one. My number one dude was the Bama defensive coordinator for the Ravens that went to the Seahawks. I would have took him. But anywho, I pride ourselves on defense, man, and stopping Bama's. And even though we held them to 22 points, I'm not happy because they had 164 yards rushing, and it looked bad. And nobody can sit here and tell me that it didn't look bad in the first half. Like, every drive, it's like they just kept running. It's like they was gashing us for 4 to 5 yards a carry. And I'm like, Joe Witt, when the fuck are we gonna put somebody put like a nose tackle in the game, like somebody that can stop that middle rush, to just go head to head with that center. And I seen it prior weeks when we had Johnny Newton subbing in, and coming in rotation, where they put him over top of the center. I just feel like our run game is always gonna be trash if we allow that center to get up to our best tacklers, which is Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner. If you continue and allow these guys to have to fight off with centers that's getting a full head of steam at them, guess what? You took one tackler out the play. And now you got the guards going 1-on-1, or just pretty much shielding out our other D tackles. I'm like, man, you gotta keep a D tackle over top of that center, man, and allow our boys, Frankie Louvu, who's been playing phenomenal football, Bobby Wagner, who's he looking like LeBron James right now on the field. He looking like he ain't showing no signs of weakness except for the pass coverage, which I ain't seen him be good in pass coverage in the last 3 to 4 years. I'm just sorry, Bobby Wagner. I just got to call a spade, cause that play where you gave up to Theo Johnson for 6, bro, you did not get no depth. You got beat twice actually. It was the fake pitch to the left where he pulled Daniel Jones and I think it was Tracy in the game at that time. They pulled Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner out the way and dumped that thing right over top of Bobby Wagner head to Theo Johnson for a big gain. And I'm just like, bro, your pass coverage is still trash. So Jordan McGee, hey man, I hope you locking in. I hope your pass coverages is a lot better, because we gonna need it, baby. We gonna need to be able to sub you in at sometimes for that pass coverage. But as run stoppers, man, I was highly disappointed that we was allowing these niggas to run down that goddamn field on us so goddamn much. I'm like, man, bro, we gotta get a stop. We gotta get a stop. This shit looking bad. It's looking all the way bad. I don't understand how we keep allowing these Bama's just to run down our throats like that. No diddy. But anywho, I was not happy with that. We kind of picked it up in the second half, the second quarter. We ended up getting a key stop. Thank God Dante Fowler forced that fumble, and we was able to recover because that's kind of what got us started. As an offense and a defense, that turnover kind of woke us up, and it was like, all right, bet we here now. All right, we woke. Let's go. Let's lock in. Let's go get sixes. Right after that, we came in and scored. So I can't be, I can't be overly, critical of them. But the way that we started, man, it was horrible. I did not like the way we started. Joe Witt. And even when we tried to blitz, they still was catching us for 45 yards. So hopefully we can get that better, man. Daniel Jones went 20 for 26, 174 yards. Again, I don't. And look, man, I'm gonna just say this. I don't understand how a head coach can keep his job rocking with number 8. He's a running back playing quarterback. Like, he was a running back playing quarterback all game. And I mean, yeah, he was 20 for 26. Because if you really look at once we went up 2 scores, we kind of went into this prevent. And that's another thing I ain't like about Joe Witt. We went into this prevent defense. Like, we were just, coasting. It's like, all right, we'll lock up when we get to the red zone. I'm like, nah, man, you got to keep that fucking foot on their neck, man. You got to keep your foot on their neck. Like, don't allow them to breathe. Like, close out the game. I would have liked the offense to come out into the third quarter and score, but we went 4 and out. Defense came and gave up. I don't know if I forgot. I don't know if we had a turnover. I don't know if we stopped them or not. But I think they came down and got 3, or they maybe scored coming out. But it got ugly because they started to close the gap. They started to get in the stops that they needed. Our offense kind of fizzled out a little bit, and all you can do is like, hey man, the defense got to step up, and they stepped up. I gotta give them their credit. They stepped up a little bit. We got 2 sacks on the day, and we got that 1 turnover. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I gotta give them a little bit of credit, a little bit of. But if you ask me, what would I give them a grade? I'll give them a C minus. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like the way our defense played 4 quarters of football, and I think that if we don't get back to how we was playing before the Giants, hey man, it's gonna be a tough game because going into next week, and we got the Steelers, and they been playing some good football, and they got some good weapons over there on the offensive side too. So, and they got a defense, so they gonna get stops. So our offense got to match their defense, and our defense got to match their offense. But on this game, man, I'm gonna give my honorable mentions. Jeremy Chinn, round of a fucking applause, bro. You had a great game yesterday. 13 total tackles, 7 solo, 2 tackles for loss. You shot up on one of those end rounds, or one of the I think Malik Neighbors brought it back to the other side of the field, and you was like a heat-seeking missile, bro. And you had to gave us a short, gave us a tackle for a loss. So major shout out to you. I said last week, man, you really turned it around, bro. You really turned around your game because you've been showing us, hey, I need to get that paycheck. And I get it. Hey man, when that money, about to be a potential, you getting that big payday, you got to show up, and you have been showing up. Bobby Wagner, man. As he started to lock in, as we started to, do good at run fits, he showed up. Benjamin St. Juice, I'm not gonna say you played a bad game, and I don't think that was a PI. And I'm gonna show y'all a clip in a little bit. It was a little still image that I took off of X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. That wasn't a pass interference because you could clearly see Malik Neighbors has his whole arm extended, and as a defensive back and as a defensive player, period, y'all can't just keep giving the wide receivers the benefit of the doubt. Like, look at the arm extension. I gotta fight. I'm gonna try to knock your goddamn hand off me, and I gotta try to make a play on the ball. And I think that's what you did. So I ain't gonna hold that over your head. Johnny Newton, you had a pretty good game. Dante Fowler showed up with 2 sacks again. So I gotta give, hey bro, he's showing, he looking like back in the Falcon days, like when he first got drafted. Who else had a good day yesterday from a defense? Oh, Fadarius Mathis went out with a concussion. He was cleared and came back in. So major shout out to him. Hope he good. I think that was Quan Martin also played a good game. I gotta give him a shout out. Who else? Mike Sanders still, he had some good plays. He was on some good coverage. I gotta give credit to our defense on the back end. They played some good football, so I gotta give them what credit's due. But I still give y'all a C because I think it was so much that we allowed to happen that we shouldn't allow to happen. That they shouldn't have had 22. They should have had 10 max, or 6. Like, they shouldn't have scored the points that they scored. So I'm not even gonna blame y'all. I give y'all a C mainly because of the calls, like the calls that was coming in. Joe Witt, you gotta stay aggressive, bruh. You gotta stay putting pressure on Daniel Jones, man. Even though we was trying not to get beat deep, I don't understand why we could take. And maybe that's just because. And I'm gonna talk about this a little bit after I give my final grade. About free agency coming, coming to a end, or trade deadline. I mean, my bad. Trade deadline being tomorrow at 4 p.m. Who I think we're gonna go after, who I think we should approach. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be dead honest with y'all. I don't like. I think that Joe Witt believes that we don't have man coverage corners. I think because the way that these dudes, Benjamin St. Juice, and this is my one critique about him is that, bro, he plays automatically 5 to 7 yards off, and when he plays off, it's like he is in trail technique or he just trying not to get beat. Like I'm gonna give up everything in front of me. I don't care if it's 10 yards, 15 yards, but you're not gonna beat me deep. And that's why I don't think he's a true man cover corner because man, you go look at some of these other cornerbacks that's playing man to man coverage, bro. They sitting on those comeback routes. Like, hey man, if I'm gonna get beat, man, you won't have to, hey, at least you know I was there on the double. I don't know how to explain it, bro, but I'm just saying other cornerbacks actually play some good football, and I gotta be like, dang, I wish Benjamin was that, but I don't think we have cornerbacks. I still think we need to trade for one. That is my number one. That is my number one. If I had to say, that's my number one position of need going into this. Going into this free this trade deadline is that I wish we had that guy. I wish we had, and I'm gonna let y'all know these guys, but I think we still need an outside corner, a true number one. Um, but with that being said, I give our guys a defensive C. I give our offense an A. Did I say A? I forgot what I said already. But anywho, man, made the shout out to the team. We won. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, all right. Now let's talk about the free agency, man. I mean, I keep saying free agency. I don't know why. The trade deadline that's coming up. A lot of names have been thrown around. Reports have come out saying that we going after that Dan Quinn AP been on the calls on the phones all week, and we're going to be heavy players going into the trade deadline to try to get us a DB and a receiver. That was what was reported, that we was trying to go after those two positions. Um, if I had to rank it, it's cornerback number one, receiver number two, and pass rusher number three. So if I can get me a cornerback, so one of the trade ideas I came up with, Marshawn Lattimore is my number one candidate. That's who I want. This is the guy that I want us to go get. If you know, this dude been playing lights out football since he been in the league. I know I know he has like issues with injuries and things like that. But right now, we need somebody that can play some man covered football. I'm just keeping the bean with y'all. 28 years old. I wish that we can go and get him if he's up for trade. If I heard that they're not in a yard sale right now. They're not major sellers right now. They still, but Marshawn Lattimore has been made available for trade. So, and I heard the Chiefs is very interested in getting them. We can't allow nobody else to go to the Chiefs right now. I'm echoing a lot of motherfuckers that I done heard in the media already today. We can truly not let these motherfuckers get nobody else. They got Hopkins. They got the tackle. I think I forgot his name. You can't let these motherfuckers get Marshawn Lattimore either. Come on, man. We gotta step in. AP. Let's make the call. I'm giving up a third round. At most, I'm giving up. I'm not giving up no crazy. I know they're gonna try to look for a second, and I think at this time, this is when you try to get the most you can. But I don't think no team is giving up a second round pick for Marshawn Lattimore right now. So a third, I'm giving up a third. They can have it. We got two of them, so we got one to spare. I'm giving up a third for my guy. Let him come on in, and he's starting. He's going to be our cornerback number one. And I think you could probably start to see Joe Witt calling some man coverage on his side. But we're gonna still play that soft coverage with Benjamin St. Juice, and we can send Mike Sanders still back into the nickel and slot, which I think he's been playing good. He's been playing very good on the outside. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take him out of position, but let me go. Yeah, let me get Marshawn Lattimore again, and I'll say this, even though I don't think he's available. J.C. Horn, if they want to sell, let us get J.C. Horn a ball for them off their hands. I'll take him. Greg Newsome. These are my three cornerbacks. Marshawn Lattimore, J.C. Horn. Even I know he probably he's not being traded at all. and Greg Newsome. Like those are my three guys that I want. I heard a lot of people talk about the dude from the Patriots, Jones. At that point, I'll just rock with who we got. He older. Like I still want somebody that we gonna be able to keep and get some good years out of. If you trade the 3rd-round pick, if that's the case, I'd rather hold a 3rd-round pick and go get me a pass rusher or another linebacker or old lineman or whatever, a receiver. Like with that third going into the draft next year. But anywho, these are my three guys that I want from a cornerback perspective. From a receiver, T. Higgins. That's it. T. Higgins. Number 2 is Mike Williams. Give me one or two of those guys, and that's not saying nothing against Noah Brown. Noah Brown, you have been playing outstanding football for us. You have been a good co-anchor to Scary Terry. When we talking about our team potentially being a playoff team, a top team that's going to have a home game, I want us to have the best hand that we can possibly be dealt. And that's going into here and getting me a cornerback and a receiver. Do it. Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger right now, because if we need to have the best team possible, because we got the Steelers coming up, we got the Eagles coming up, Cowboys, even though they injured badly, and then we got the Falcons. Falcons been playing good football. Mooney, Drake London out there, Kyle Pitts. So yeah, we're gonna need some corners, especially somebody that that's gonna be able to check Drake London. And Mooney been playing good football. But yeah, I'd rather have Mike Sanders still back in the slot as our slot corner. And give me a corner that we can have. And I think AP and them know that too. And I think they on the phones right now trying to make that call. But we less than 24 hours now. It's 4:04. Yeah, we less than 4:03. Yeah, we less than 24 hours away from us making some type of splash for this trade deadline. I haven't heard any reports coming directly from the Washington Commanders. So hey, look, they playing it close to the vest. So I'm not going. It's hard for me to not to stay and speculate and get into the good old Twitter side of things. But yeah, man, that's who I want. Hopefully we go get him. But this is one of the key plays, man, that I think we made with Dyami Brown, with the opportunity that he got. He was able to come out and make a key. Man, this was 3rd and 18, y'all. 3rd and 18. And it was a short outright. Broke the tackle. And when they get the first down, man, that's we don't normally see that from our guys. I'm just being honest, y'all. I'm just being honest. Here we go. Look at my man JD. Brandon Coleman, man, you had an outstanding game, man. Major shout out to Brandon Coleman, man. We may have found out starting future left tackle, and you know what I'm saying. So, and this, I hate to bring this up, but how does DJ
Williams trying to line up a receiver, and Williams gets away off the spin move. Williams is still alive. This feels like Jaden Daniels last week.
Hey, they called my man Jaden Daniels, man.
This week.
Hey, now hold up, let me run his back, man. Hey, look at DJ Moore just put
what they need from him. Play clock winding down. They get
but
the
they ain't
snap
got no
off.
issues
Williams trying to line up a receiver, and Williams gets away off the spin move. Williams is still alive. This feels like Jaden Daniels last week. Williams guns it. Incomplete. Looking for Keenan Allen.
This is the first quarter, y'all.
What they need from him.
Hey,
play clock winding down. They get the snap off. Williams.
So this is furthermore why reason why I gotta stay off the internet, man. Because if you see this right here, breaking news: Dennis Allen has been fired by the New Orleans Saints, which we all seen coming when they lost to the 1-7 Panthers. That we saw him getting fired, right? So just furthermore, tell him, man, go ahead, let us get Marshawn Lattimore off your hands, man. He won't play in the playoffs. He don't want to be sitting there just waiting for the in Honolulu, vacation. He want to play in the playoffs, and we there. We finally there, baby, 7-2. But this is the play right here, man. Look at this arm extension. So this is where I keep saying, man, I don't understand these refs. I don't understand what's going on. It seems like these calls are getting so bad. Like this, if you had to give I had to give a grade to the officials this year, I give them a F. Because I'm talking about across the league. Like they've just been bad. But this is a receiving cornerback fighting. You gotta let them fight it out. Let them fight it out. They fighting for position. Malik Neighbors, I'm not even calling that offensive pass interference, but if he's extending his arm that fully, which you're not supposed to do, which is offensive pass interference, you got to let Benjamin St. Juste fight back. You got to let him fight back for position too, man. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. Again, Victory Monday, man. I hope we can, rest up. Again, we got a late bye. Hopefully our guys can heal up. Hopefully Brian Robinson can get healthy and be a full go against the Steelers. And yeah, man, we are 7-2. We are 7-2, fellas. Hey, man, hail to the Commanders. Hey, that was a good W. Had to take the broom outside, Giants fan, but we ain't sorry. I catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.